please raise your hands and wait for the microphone, please. We can start here in the front. Cualquier. Enfrente, sí.
Good evening. Congratulations. Are you unhappy because you suffered until the very end and what could have been a historic win, 5-1? You ended up winning only 5-4. How do you feel about that? I'm happy. I enjoy suffering, really. I don't understand sport without suffering. I don't understand football without suffering. When two great teams face off, like it was like today, it's normal that every team will make the most of their moments, and of course it's something that could happen. What we need to learn something from every game and try to see something in a positive light, see the game in a positive light. Hi, Luis. We heard you on TV. I don't think they asked you this. I think quarterfinals against the Netherlands, Oyarzabal took 2 penalties. Lamine took a penalty today. Is there a change in the order of penalty takers? Do you improvise? What is the rule for penalty takers? Well, 0 improvisation. There are a few specialists, and we work on that on every session. And depending on the moment, you will choose one or the other. In this case, I chose Lamine. Mikel is another specialist. There are some others, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see my players be brave enough to be willing to take a penalty in a situation like this, right? So in this case, we have many penalty takers, and they are very good. Congratulations, Luis. I wanted to ask you about what you're looking for with Mikel Oyarzabal. He gave 2 assists, etc. That's what we wanted with him. Mikel Oyarzabal has always played really well with us. What we were looking for today is to run into spaces, play between the lines, and Mikel plays that brilliantly. And of course, we know that he has a special clarity in the penalty box in order to give out passes like we saw today. But he's been scoring a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals with me, and that's what we're looking for. I think we thought the centre forward that was most interesting for us for this game was Mikel Oyarzabal, and he played a huge game. So we're really happy about him, and I hope he can recover fully for Sunday. Hello, Coach. I wanted to ask you about Unai Simon, because we were talking about the golden ball, and we always talk about the players who score goals. But I would like to know what Unai Simon means for this team, and what he is on and off the pitch. Well, somebody asked me something like that the other day about goalkeepers, and I said that our goalkeepers, all of our goalkeepers, could be in the starting 11. We have 3 fantastic goalkeepers, but Unai Simon is a goalkeeper that he's been an absolute guarantee for us every time. I'm especially happy about the game he played tonight, because he's been mistreated by the media sometimes in the past. Not you especially, but some members of the media. He's been questioned. We should have a different goalkeeper, this and that. But Unai Simon is an amazing goalkeeper who can read the game marvelously with great conditions. He's a great goalkeeper on the pitch, and he's a great teammate off the pitch. So he's got always something to bring to the table. So yes, I'm really happy about him, because I think he earned it, and we have to admit his work rate, not today, but in in previous games against Netherlands, etc. He's proven that his quality every time, and we feel lucky to count on players of his quality, because it is complicated to find two teams with as many starts on the pitch as France and Spain right now. I wanted to ask you about Dean Howson, his second match with the national team against forwards who as good as Mbappe, Dembele, and he's showing a great poise, great maturity, and he's surprising with the ball in his feet. He almost scored a goal tonight. What do you have to say about him? Well, he's a player. He's the kind of player that has he's more mature than he should be for his age. But that's what happens with great footballers. They're great on and off the pitch, and they show that maturity on and off the pitch. It was no discovery for us. You know, we've seen him in youth teams. We've worked with him. We've played him in youth teams. But until you give him the opportunity or the chance to compete at this level, you really don't know what his ceiling is going to be, how high he can get. But it's taken him only 2 goals to show his potential on the pitch, and he's been signed by Real Madrid recently, and that's no mean feat. So that shows the great health of Spanish football. There are so many great young footballers. You don't know yet who will be coming up the ranks, and you will be able to see them very soon. So, but another thing is that it's very complicated to play in this squad, to be part of this squad, because everybody's really good. So that's really good for Spanish football, of course, and there's a reason for being happy, and I am extremely happy about all this. You're playing a new final on Sunday. It's the 3rd final in 3 years. Are you aware in the dressing room of how difficult it is what you're doing? And it's a new era for the Spanish national team. Ivan, we are aware of this, but are you, the members of the press? Now, we are on the same boat. You know this. It's very difficult to reach finals. And the important thing about this team, and I said it before and I will say it again, they are hungry. They are hungry. They want more success. They want to keep competing. They want to keep winning, and that's really good. Today, there were 11 players who played in the latest Nations League, and the look in their eyes was exactly the same for the players who had been there before and for the players who hadn't been there before. Everybody was hungry to compete, and I'm proud of them, and I'm excited to see such young players who come here to this national team from their clubs, and they want to make history with the national team, and that's really beautiful for the country, for all football lovers like I am, like myself. Thinking about the final, you're playing Portugal on Sunday, knowing you and valuing assessing the efforts that you make your players play. There is a 40-year-old player on the other side, Cristiano Ronaldo. What do you think of him? If he can, how he can do this and still be playing at this level, showing this professionality? Well, first of all, we're going to see 2 super powerful teams. I'm really happy about playing this final. Have a great relationship with Roberto Martinez. There is another. Well, the goalkeeper coach is also a great friend of mine. We are going to be playing friends, but of course we're going to play one of the greats, Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, just his name. Of course, I have limitless admiration for him. It's really an honor. It's really great to see a player of his age to be able to be there, keep playing, even at his age, be as fit as he is. So I just want to say that I admire him very much, and as a as a national coach, of course, it is a very extremely complicated rival opponent. It's yet another final, and this could be a final of a World Cup final. So, this could be a historic match again on Sunday. Final question. Hi. I wanted to ask you about the change of position of Pedri. That was the debate before the beginning of the match, and midway through the game, you made him swap positions with Merino. Why did you do that? And do you think that kind of change position can be maintained with time? Antonio, we made that change of position because we were struggling to keep the ball, and because of the high pressure that France were making, it was causing trouble, and we considered that was the best thing to do, to ask Pedri to drop a little deeper. But Mikel scored, then Pedri scored from this new position. His initial position was not so deep, but that's what I wanted him. I want him to be near the penalty box. In any case, we managed what we wanted, which was to be able to keep the ball, have more fluidity, and to go over this first line of pressure that we were struggling against at the beginning. Good night.
On Saturday in Munich.